All right, cool. What's up, people? Matty D here of In the Black, where we help you achieve emotional, financial, physical well-being, and your relationship coach. Which is off. Shooting this video on my phone. Got this phone the other day here. No, I got this phone a couple weeks ago. It's a new phone. But anyway, so this video is about signs of that you have a toxic mother. And now I found this. These are 6 signs that I found about an article on Google, and it resonates with me a lot because some of the things it mentions reminds me of my mother. Because my mother's the adult child of an alcoholic, and has got issues from that, controlling, doesn't forgive. It's crazy. Like, I think now that I've come from a toxic relationship with my mother that I didn't realize would become toxic as I got older. But anyways, so I'm looking at it right now, so I'm looking off the camera, and I'll put the link. The link is in the description below here, but it's interesting what it talks about. Like, the first sign, it says that she dismisses your negative feelings, and it's like, I feel like my mom does that. It's like she doesn't really acknowledge how I feel sometimes, or I felt in the past, until you have to apologize a lot. And if you have a mother that's like that, like, they, it's like, they don't compassion for how you feel. Like, if you feel hurt, whatever, they're kind of whatever, and then kind of let it be. That's crazy. Number 2, she thinks that you're responsible for her happiness, which I relate to because my mother blames the world and plays the victim role as to why she's upset. I remember my mother growing up saying, like, well, and to this day, she's like, I've done so much for you, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, really? Like, that's so screwed up. And talks about this, She, like, some parents will talk about how they sacrifice so much for you and places guilt on you. And they're like, I did all this shit for you, and this is why I'm not happy. Which is not fair, and that's wrong. I'm just briefly going through this stuff. She doesn't respect your boundaries. My mother, respects boundaries by cutting us off. That's what she does. So your mother's like that, who just wants to just be everywhere and just doesn't respect your boundaries by realizing that, like, you're not a child. I think my mom has not done that to this day. She hasn't realized that, like, I'm 31, 32, and she consciously does, but she still wants to be this subservient son. But some moms go worse. They just, or parents and dads, they just don't have boundaries. So that's 1 or 3. Number 4, she can't deal with not being in the spotlight. If you got moms like that, that's crazy. So if you're a mom, it mentions in here, you have a mother that, will mention, you, but then will actually mention her, and I'll always bring up her stuff, It's crazy. Number 5, she's just cruel. That one talks about really how sometimes having a toxic mom isn't always very obvious. It's subtle. And I've read something, so it's crazy, So, and the last one, number 6, you're too scared to stick up for yourself. And I can relate to that. With my mom in the past, I would be too afraid of telling her how I felt, but you may be in the situation, Like I said, wasn't going to go over everything here, but 6 signs that you may have a toxic mother, and a toxic relationship. And I definitely feel that with what I read and what you'll read here, that, like, it's definitely something worth reading over. And it's crazy. I read that and I was like, some of these things I could relate to. I was like, whoa. So I think I've come from a toxic relationship with my mother. And I say this: if you're in a toxic relationship with your parents, it's time to divorce them, because you're killing yourself, literally. It's affecting you emotionally, which rewires your brain, and that damages you. And seriously, healthy, like, if you're in a bad relationship with someone, it's really not good for you. There's an article Playboy did, ironically, about people, and I'm digressing, people in bad relationships, that if you stay in that shit, your brain rewires itself, like, neurologically, and it's not healthy, and you basically just degenerate from the inside out. You're literally killing yourself by being with someone who's toxic for you. And this, I'm going to logically think, applies to your parents. Your brain's just rewired for crap, and you just slowly die, and it's a shitty way to die. Anyways, hope this helps. Like this video, share if you got some value from it. Comment below and let me know your thoughts are. I appreciate you guys. And as usual, if you want to do a free coaching session, link is in the description below. I love you all. Get in the black. Peace.